presentation of Fox Sports.
We are Fox Sports. We are San Diego.
High drive to right field for Sanchez. Back goes Martinez at the wall. Hector Sanchez has hit a two-run home run to put the Padres on top 4-3 with one swing of the bat. A dramatic victory here last night for the Padres as we welcome you to Military Sunday presented by USAA. We welcome you inside the broadcast booth as we get ready for Game 3 of the series. Don Orsillo along with Mark Grant. Welcome to Padres baseball. Dramatic night last night. Big night for Hector Sanchez, and he's got a flair for the dramatic.
Everybody loves home runs, right? A lot of fun. Then there are home runs and then big home runs. And as you mentioned on that little clip we saw, with one swing of the bat, the Padres take the lead. He's done it before. He's coming off the bench. You know, when he's not starting, you've got to be ready to come late in the ball game. And when you come off the bench late, you're either facing a closer or a really good setup guy. You got a 0-1 fastball. He was behind in the count, and he sent it on its way. And like I said, late, and there's nothing more priceless than the reaction of his teammates after taking the lead with a one swing of the bat. Hopefully it carries over. I'm a big believer in momentum, and hopefully the momentum swings for the Padres, stays that way, and goes for the sweep against the Detroit Tigers this afternoon at Petco Park. Don?
Yeah, the fans settling in as the Padres are about to take the field, and they are led by Clayton Richard. Time now for our military take the field presented by USAA. Today we welcome the U.S. Navy Chief Petty Officers who are here. They're part of a pregame ceremony. They were down the lines here prior to the game, and now meeting some of the Padres as they take their spot and their position in the field. Padres players look forward to Sundays here at Petco Park in San Diego. Military Sunday, a chance to honor our servicemen and women. And of course, the Marine recruits are always here up in the right field corner on Sundays as well. And Padres in their special uniforms on Sunday. There are the Marine recruits here today, as they are every Sunday. It is a spectacular day here weather-wise for Game 3 of this series, and we check out the weather. It is brought to you by your always sunny San Diego Honda dealers. 74 spectacular degrees, northwest breeze 12 miles per hour, nothing but blue skies above, and that's the way it's going to be all day. Don Orsillo, Mark Grant, Bob Scanlon with you from Petco Park.
Don, it's always sunny when you're sitting next to me, my friend.
Let's check out the Detroit Tigers lineup. It is Ian Kinsler leading it off at second base with Miguel Cabrera at first base. Justin Upton is in left field with J.D. Martinez in right. Mike Matuk gets his first start of the series in center. Nicholas Castellanos at third base with James McCann doing the catching. Jose Iglesias at shortstop bats eighth, and the pitcher Jordan Zimmerman out of the 9 spot for the Tigers. On the mound for the Padres today, Clayton Richard.
Oh, the 33-year-old making his 16th start. He is king of the grounders and even more grounders. 4th highest rate in Major League Baseball for getting ground balls and strike one. He's got a good release point working right now. He's done well the last 2 starts, and what a better guy to have on the mound to go for the sweep against these Tigers.
Well, defensively behind Clayton Richard, the Padres defensively brought to you by Lincoln. Left to right, Jose Varela. Matt Cesar getting the start in center field. Hunter Renfroe in right with Corey Spangenberg at third. Eric Ibar at shortstop. Carlos Azuaje at second base. Will Myers at first, and Austin Hedges doing the catching for Clayton Richard. Well, the Padres have won games 1 and 2 of this 3-game series. And the Tigers have now lost 8 straight games. They are 0 for the road trip. And it started in Seattle against the Mariners and has carried over here to Petco Park in San Diego. First pitch of the ball game, and it is grounded to third. Spangenberg into the grass at third. His throw to first. Plenty of time for out number 1.
Clayton Richard is now on pace to throw 27 pitches this game.
One out here in the first inning on 1 pitch. They'll bring up Miguel Cabrera.
Hey, that brings up a point though. Will this Tiger team, because of the ground balls and Clayton Richard getting ahead, will they swing early if they get a good pitch with Clayton Richard trying to get ahead with strike one?
Well, Miguel Cabrera standing in and taking a pitch down and in. Well, an off year for Cabrera. This is the first Triple Crown winner since Carl Yastrzemski back in 1967. One of the game's best hitters. And he is kind of scuffling this year, hitting at .262 coming in. 8 homers, 34 runs batted in. Back and hip problem has kind of played his way through it, but the numbers have not been great, and some would argue that's the reason. It is time for our Arco top tier player profile. We do look at Miguel Cabrera, and his career numbers leads all major league active players at .319.
Well, the guy's on his way to the Hall of Fame.
1-2. You got Miguel Cabrera right now batting. Former Padre Justin Upton waiting on deck. Tigers batting in the first. In there for strike 3, and Cabrera takes with him the first strikeout for Clayton Richard of the day.
Well, location is key. When you get Cabrera looking, he must have thrown a pretty darn good pitch. Does he get a call? Nice frame job by Austin Hedges. If you're going to get that call, make that pitch, any way you look at it, you're going to have a good afternoon on that hill.
2 down here in the first inning, and it brings up Justin Upton. That's in the 3 spot today for the Tigers. Tigers have been outscored 47-23 during their 8-game losing streak. Looking to avoid 9 consecutive games for the first time since September of 2005. Off the end of the bat, that is a fair ball inside the bag at first, down the line to right. Upton is headed for 2. Renfroe goes to dig it out, and it is a well-placed double with all kinds of spin on it down that first base line for Justin Upton.
That was not the intent of Justin Upton to take the ball that way. Let's go back to the pitch. Is it a changeup? Was it a 2-seamer away off the end of the bat? And you're right, Don. That ball had some serious English on it.
So Upton at second base with 2 down here in the first, and it brings up J.D. Martinez.
So he just took that 91-mile-an-hour 2-seamer off the end of the bat and found a hole.
Last 8 games, Martinez 5 for 29 at 172. And part of the struggling offense for the Tigers. During the losing streak, they've averaged 2.9 runs per game. And as a team have hit a .213. And Osmus under the microscope right now with his Tigers team reeling.
You know what the key is, Don, for any team that's like the Tigers going right now? You got to get to them early because you want them to get in their head, oh no, here we go again. That's the worst thing that a team can think. So you get out of this inning, throw up a bagel, and hopefully you score early. Because it's tough to bounce back when you're in a slump like the Tigers are right now.
A 4-pitch walk there allowed by Clayton Richard. 2 on, 2 down, and it's time now to take a look at the keys to the game, brought to you by your San Diego Honda dealers.
Talked about the bullpen for the Tigers. Get to that Tigers pen early. They're 0-4 with an 8.7 ERA during the 8 losses. And one big inning, I'm telling you, whether it's the first, second, third, early on, one big inning could really just stick it to the Tigers.
Mike Matuk getting his first start of the series in center field. He's come off the bench in the series, but getting a start. 40th game he's been in. And he'll take strike 1. Richard able to get Kinsler and Cabrera. Ground out strikeout for the spinning double for Justin Upton and the walk for J.D. Martinez. Softly grounded towards third. Spangenberg will wait on it and tag the bag himself for the force out that ends the inning. The only thing he can really do there. Padres are coming up. Sanchez has hit a 2-run home run with one swing of the bat. To right field, it drops in. Corey Spangenberg drives in two. Safety squeeze, scoring from third base. A come from behind victory tonight for San Diego. Well, it's been a fun couple of nights here in games 1 and 2 of this series for the Padres against the Tigers, and they're trying to make it a clean sweep here today as we check out the Padres starting lineup, brought to you by Toyota. As leading it off is Jose Perella, making his way to the plate with Carlos Eswaje at second base. Will Myers at first. Corey Spangenberg at third. Austin Hedges does the catching with Eric Ibar at shortstop. Hunter Renfroe drops down in the order to 7th with Matt Cesar in center field batting 8th, and the pitcher Clayton Richard batting 9th for Andy Green today. And on the mound, former Washington National Jordan Zimmerman.
Making his 15th start, throws all 4 pitches, aggressive with all of his pitches, and he's a strike thrower. 2-time All-Star. That's some pretty good years with the Nationals. 4 years in a row in double-digit wins for the right-hander. Not a lot of ground balls, though. We've got the extreme this afternoon. Clayton Richard, a lot of ground balls. Not a lot of ground balls from Jordan Zimmerman.
Jose Perella leading it off and trying to bunt his way on. Pops it up foul. That'll get back into the crowd.
In fact, to elaborate on that little stat regarding ground ball percentage, Zimmerman is the second lowest at 33%. The major league average is like 45%. So it gives you an idea there.
So 2 different styles of pitching here today, and Tigers are hoping that Zimmerman can turn things around, while Clayton Richard, always a good sign. A couple of ground ball outs in the first. Zimmerman did not factor in the decision in his last start in Seattle on Tuesday. Gave up 3 runs in 6 2/3, an eventual 5-4 Tigers loss in extra innings. He's always done well against the Padres, and again, most of that coming as a member of the Nationals. In 8 career starts against the Padres, 3 and 2, with a 1.69 earned run average. Carlos Eswaje waiting on deck, and a foul back below us.
You know, as a pitcher, you have no control over the support you get. You can just concentrate on making good quality pitches, have quick innings. In the month of June, Zimmerman's had 4 starts, only 9 runs of support. It's not going to cut it, right?
No. And it always seems like there's one guy on the staff that happens to.
Yep.
High bounce at short for Iglesias, and the throw in time to get Pirela. Well, defensively behind Jordan Zimmerman for the Tigers today, left to right in the outfield. Justin Upton is in left with Mike Matuk in center. J.D. Martinez around in right. Nicholas Castellanos at third base. Jose Iglesias, who just made that play at short. Ian Kinsler at second. Miguel Cabrera at first. And James McCann doing the catching for Jordan Zimmerman. Castellanos 13 errors, second most in the majors down there at third base. And he's been nursing a sore back. Oh, this is Wahe standing in for the Padres. One down here in the first inning. In the air, down the left field line. Upton on the move, and he will make the catch. Some kind of catch down there by Justin Upton over towards the line. Nice grab.
Did he trap that ball?
I don't think so. Oh, he got it.
That's a heck of a catch. Really good play. That's a long run. And the backhand.
That's out number 2 of this first inning, and it'll bring up Will Myers. There's 258 to start the day with 14 homers and 38 runs batted in. And his 74th game of a possible 76. High drive, deep left field for Myers. Upton will turn and watch this leave up into that upper deck. Will Myers with his 15th home run of the year puts the Padres on top 1-0 in the first inning.
First pitch, hanging slider. Oh, that thing doesn't even break. I think it was just rolling up there.
What do you call that? A cement mixer?
Oh, that was a cement mixer. You know, he hung that one, and when you hang, he will banging upper tank for Will Myers.
Spansberg stands in and takes a strike over the outside corner. As the Padres strike first on the home run by Myers, his 15th home run of the year. Spansberg hitting at .347 of the last 14 games. And he fouls this back to the screen, a 93-mile-an-hour fastball. Spansberg protecting the plate nicely.
Hey, with the lack of ground balls from Zimmerman, he gets some pitches elevated. You know, there's guys in this Padre team, day game, elevate the baseball, home runs. Good start for the Padres and Will Myers.
All strikes so far here for Zimmerman of the 13 pitches he's thrown. Spansberg will chop it foul. Had a big hit last night in the 8th inning, adding some insurance by knocking in 2 runs. Marked his 12th multi-hit game. Zimmerman with a 0-2 pitch. Spansberg will pop it up. Foul backing out of play as James Mccann comes back, but no chance of that one. This is all part of what was a huge 8th inning for the Padres, and Spansberg tacking on 2 more with his base hit to right field. Fun night at the yard here last night.
All started with a walk.
Yeah, Rick Ibar's walked the 2-run home run by Hector Sanchez. Pinch hit home run.
Let's keep an eye on that slider since Will Myers tattooed one to the second tank in left field above the scoreboard, auxiliary scoreboard. Let's keep an eye on that slider from Zimmerman, see if it just kind of rolls up there or if he makes an adjustment.
Eighth pitch of the at bat coming up, and it's outside.
Because if he keeps hanging like that, go to Hackett.
Good at bat here right now for Spangenberg. He was down 0-2, fouled some off, took some. Spangenberg now, the inning does continue. Austin Hedges waiting on deck. Another one fouled off.
3-2 slider. He's got some confidence in that pitch.
20th pitch coming up of this first inning for Jordan Zimmerman. And Spangenberg making him work here in this first inning. In the air to right field, but it is headed towards foul ground. And that gets up into the upper deck and comes back down again. Out ahead of that just a little bit.
You think?
I think so.
Spangenberg way out in front of that fastball from Zimmerman.
12th pitch of the at bat coming up here. Try to straighten it out. Zimmerman trying to figure out what he wants to throw here, back and forth with James Mccann, his battery mate.
Change up, fastball, curveball, slider, partridge in a pear tree.
Ball 4 and Spangenberg works a walk.
That is a good plate appearance right there by Corey Spangenberg. Now you hope for a little, after the 2 quick outs, the home run, a walk. Keep it going. Austin Hedges has got some pop in that bat, we know.
Here is Hedges, 221, 11 home runs and 36 runs batted in.
And the beauty of it all is that you don't need a home run here. A gapper with Spangenberg's speed.
And this one's thrown away. Spangenberg will pop up, head for second base. Rounded, he's taking third now. Throw goes close to third, but not on line, and he gets 2 bases on the ball thrown away by the pitcher, Jordan Zimmerman. Error charge to Zimmerman on the throw over to first base. Wildly.
Don't need to tell everybody how huge that run for Corey Spangenberg with the way things have been going with the Tigers. The home run, throwing the ball away, that's utilizing the speed there. Sliding towards the outfield part of the bag. Stay on the bag.
Another run here in the first inning would do wonders for the Padres here. As you mentioned, for Brad Ausmus and the Tigers, you get that feel of here we go again.
Zimmerman has thrown 2 wild pitches this year. Keep an eye out for that. Ball in the dirt.
Hedges with 36 runs batted in on the year. To add on to that total right here. And 2 quick outs in the inning for Zimmerman, getting Perella and Azwahe. The home run by Myers, a walk by Corey Spangenberg, the error by Zimmerman. They got a runner at third, and a foul here by Hedges. Down 1-2. Zimmerman coming in 5-5 individually. With an ERA up over 5 at 5.25, and today marks his 15th start of the year. Fouled off again by Hedges. 25 pitches now. Jordan Zimmerman so far in the first, and he's not out of it yet.
That at-bat or plate appearance, by Corey was key. Threw a lot of pitches, fouled it off, worked the walk.
12 pitch at bat for Spansberg before drawing that walk. Hedges will strike out to end the inning, but the Padres get a run on the first on the home run by Will Myers. For the Padres first baseman, his 15th home run of the year, RBI number 39. To 1-0 Padres lead after one.
Tigers, thanks to the Will Myers home run. As we head to the top of the second inning, Clayton Richard will try to protect that lead. No better pitcher to do it. He's got more innings than any other pitcher on this staff. He has done a great job of going deep in ball games for Andy Green. And in asking Andy about that earlier before this ball game, he said, look, it's not just the stuff of Clayton Richard. Yes, his sinker is good, but more importantly, it's his ability to make adjustments as he's facing lineups a second or third time. He says nobody works harder, nobody spends more time with the scouting reports. It's not a fluke, guys. Back up to you.
All right, Scan, thanks very much. And there's a lot to be said, too, for his leadership of this clubhouse, too, from his elder statesman stature that he has here. I know there are a great many to look up to him, and certainly a very good leader.
I think Clayton Richard is really the whole package. He works hard. Other players see that. I think when he speaks, he doesn't really have to go in depth to a lot of things. Just him. A man of few words can get the point across, is what I'm trying to say. The way he handles himself in the clubhouse, in the dugout, he roots for his teammates. He's a great teammate.
Got a fair number of young guys on this pitching staff that can certainly look up to him. There's no doubt about that. '16th start of the year for the left-hander. He's got a 1-0 advantage. Nicholas Castellanos getting it off. 6, 7, and 8 for the Tigers anticipated. And a grounder foul outside of third.
You know, I'm sure Bob Scanlon can chime in on this, but I remember what an influence veteran players did for me. My first big league camp. I mean, you know, you're in the organization for 3 years, and then you go to your first big league camp if you're fortunate enough, and you're around guys that have pitched 10, 12 years in the big leagues, and you're watching them, their work ethic and what they're all about, how they handle themselves.
There's a base hit into center field for Castellanos. It starts this second inning. Bobby, do you want to chime in?
Yeah, I agree with Mark Grant 100%. In fact, one of the names that sticks out for me, my first big league camp was a left-hander by the name of Steve Carlton.
Oh, he was pretty good.
Not too bad, right? And in fact, it was interesting because he had such a reputation with the media of not, talking to them very much. He shut them down, but with his teammates, he was outstanding. And in fact, with the young guys, he would talk to me about his slider, his mental focus, and frankly, a lot of the things I wasn't ready for, but he planted the seeds, and later on in my career, that's what he was talking about. So always important to have those mentors.
Well, James McCann standing in. Who'd you get, Mud, when you got to the big leagues?
Mike Krukow.
Yeah.
I watched him as a kid with the Cubs. He went on to the Phillies, and all of a sudden we're teammates. Jim Barr. Remember Jim Barr?
I do not.
He pitched until he was like 40 years old. In fact, real quick story, our first big league camp, first day, time for the pitchers to run.
Grounded down to third, could be two. Spangenberg is second for one, on to first for two. Double play, Spangenberg getting it started down there at third base.
Perfectly executed, right in the breadbasket there. Hit sharply, all the way around the horn. 5-4-3. And you know what? Guess who's on the mound? Clayton Richard, shocker. But that seems to be the common theme when Clayton is on the hill. So it comes down to running. First day of spring camp. I'm the 20-year-old. Jim Barr is the 40-year-old. Mike Krukow goes, okay, Mark Grant, you're with the old guy today. I'm thinking, this is going to be cake. He ran me into the ground. Jim Barr was probably one of the,
that's why he played till he was 40, right?
Best shape ever.
Iglesias grounds this back up the middle. Ibar on the run and in time. Nice play. We head to the bottom of the second, 1-0 San Diego. Brought to you by Ram Trucks.
Let's talk the slider of Jordan Zimmerman, right? Well, earlier, this is May 15, 2015, the Washington Nationals had a pretty darn good slider. But through the course of time, pitchers will just fall into this trap here and there to where you kind of lose it a little bit. Well, with the Tigers, we showed that. Now, how about this one here? Not really effective. Well, Jordan Zimmerman has been messing around a little bit with the grip. Some have been big, some were tight. There really wasn't much consistency. So Jordan Zimmerman went back to the grip when he was a Washington National, and he had some pretty good years there. Two-time All-Star, and he's back to that grip, hoping for that bite of the slider and getting good results.
Eric Ibar leading it off here in the second inning, which was a slider that he threw to Will Myers for the home run, the difference in the game. As Ibar takes it outside. Ibar, Renfroe, and Cesar expected to bat here in the second. Saw a lot of strikes from Zimmerman in the first inning through 26 pitches, of which 21 were for strikes, and he started the game with 15 straight strikes. or strikes. This one is
I
fouled
was gonna say,
outside.
what was that again?
I jumped out ahead of you. Yeah.
Here's the slider grip.
Interesting.
Oh,
You
yeah.
hold yours that way?
You know what? I'm trying to focus on. You know, I was a little bit more down towards the R on Rawlings. This is the grip that Jordan Zimmerman was showing us. See the Rawlings logo? I was more kind of, and it's very subtle, but everybody's different. I was just more on this seam here, the pads of my fingers here.
In the air to right field for Ibar. Deep, far, and very gone. Eric Ibar with his 6th home run of the year. Padres with another solo shot, and they jump on top 2-0.
Who cares about my slider grip? Eric Ibar just went a la calle. Oh, the home run could be a factor. This is a curveball. It's got a bigger break, more 12-6 rotation, not the slider we saw that Will Myers hit out. Oh, an 82 right down the middle. The slider down the middle, home run. The curveball down the middle, home run.
Solo shot for Myers, solo shot for Ibar. Hunter Renfroe will take strike one. I cared how you held your slider. I really did.
Did you?
That's why I asked.
Seriously?
Yeah. I didn't need more. I just needed just that. That was just enough.
Right.
Here's a ground ball. Base hit through the left side for Hunter Renfroe. Well, we've seen this before. Renfroe kind of gets dropped down in the order and has reacted each time that has happened to him over the course of the year. And seems to all of a sudden get hot then. Base hit here in his first at bat, batting out of the 7th spot today.
Well, these are the type of swings, you know, mechanically sound. He's out in front of it a little bit. Hand comes off the bat, but still gets enough of it to hit it through the 5.5 hole. You know, when the ball is in the hitting area like that, those are the types of swings you should take, and you should get good results. Sometimes you're going to pepper it right at somebody. But he found a hole on that one.
Well, Matt Cesar getting a start today in center field, batting 8th.
You know, correct me if I'm wrong, but the more we talked about my slider, the more hits the Padres have been getting.
It's a great point.
Should we continue talking about
got anything else besides your slider?
No, but I just, you know, the pads of my fingers, my index finger and my middle finger, I would put on that seam so I'd get some pull action on it. Pads of my fingers here on this seam right here, and then I would offset the ball. See how there's more baseball on this side than here? And then I would just kind of this way.
Go like that.
Rotation.
Yeah.
And then it would go.
And then you'd be turning your head watching.
Wow.
This will get away from Mccann, and Renfroe makes his way to second base.
Two-seamer yanked. You know, when you're a catcher set up on the inside part and you've got to reach across to that outside part of the plate, it's not as easy as it looks.
Charged him with a pass ball. Did get some glove on it.
Yeah.
Cesar going the other way to right center field. That's going to get down. A gapper to the track in the wall. Renfroe's coming around with the 3rd Padres run. Meanwhile, Cesar's thinking 3. Throw will not go in that direction. Got himself an RBI triple. Padres have themselves a 3-0 lead.
All hail Cesar, king of the triple, monarch of the RBI, ruler of the world. Oh, Matt Cesar getting a start today, paying dividends early.
3-0 San Diego is 90 feet away. The infield brought in here by the Tigers, and Clayton Richard, the pitcher. 119, a home run, 22 RBIs in his 9th major league season. 4 for 27 this year at the plate.
'92, '93 on the fastball from Zimmerman. That's where he's going to be. Pretty straight as well.
His 40th pitch of his outing coming up here. Does not have an out yet in the 2nd inning. We've talked a lot about this Tigers bullpen. It's not been good. There's a pop up that'll get out of play. One for 6 with runners in scoring position this year. Does have an RBI. And Osmus reeling off the signs, infield in here all the way around. Strike 3 call, and Richard takes with him the 2nd strikeout for Jordan Zimmerman. Pushed out here in the 2nd inning.
Hey, I've got no problem with that. You know why? Clayton Richard, only 1 out. He gets to go back to the dugout, towel off, kind of relax a little bit. You flip the lineup over Perella, Asuaje. Hopefully you get that run home or more runs this inning. Take a breather.
Perella getting his 2nd look at Jordan Zimmerman today. Grounded out shortstop in the 1st inning. For 12 with runners in scoring position on the year for Perella. Wild swing and a miss. There's a look at that slider, and that one just kept running away.
There's the slider we're talking about. Going back to the Nationals grip when Zimmerman was with the Nats. Good depth, good tight spin, and the perfect spot.
Back to it again, and Perella cannot lay off. He strikes out. Back-to-back Ks for Zimmerman. 2 down here in the 2nd inning.
Hey, once you get that feel for a certain pitch, yeah, you go back to it. It's almost identical to the other one.
Brings up Carlos Asuaje. Padres left a runner at 3rd base in the 1st inning. They don't want to do it here again in the 2nd. As Asuaje gets his 2nd look at Zimmerman. Popped out to shallow left, first time up. Nice running catch by Justin Upton in the 1st inning. That's Cesar tripled in a run. Short lead off the bag at 3rd. From Venezuela. Takes a borderline strike.
Hey, Zimmerman, talk about the slider, strike out to Perella. He's breaking out the curveball also. And he gets a call. That's on the corner of 8th and K.
This is Wahe coming over from the Red Sox, part of the Manny Margot deal. Javier Guerra for Craig Kimbrell in November of 2015. Had 7 games in the big leagues last year, but spent the bulk of the year with the PCL champion Chihuahuas. 134 games for him. Full count now. Myers waiting on deck, has already contributed in this game with his 15th home run of the year. Cesar at third, 2 down. Swing and a miss, and striking out 3 in a row was Jordan Zimmerman to end the inning, but the damage done. Padres get 2 more runs. A leadoff home run by Eric Ibar. San Diego on top 3-0 at the end of 2 from Petco Park in San Diego.
Welcome back to Petco Park. The Padres with a nice 3-0 lead over the Detroit Tigers. As we celebrate the Navy, I'm joined here by Vice Admiral Nora Tyson. She's the commander of the U.S. 3rd Fleet. Commander, thank you so much for your service. Excuse me, Admiral, thank you so much for your service, and thanks for being here today. I hope that on Navy Appreciation Day that you and the rest of your sailors are feeling appreciated by the Padres and the San Diego community.
Oh, this is great. San Diego is a great town, and the community is incredibly supportive of the Navy and the military that's here in San Diego. And I can't say enough about the Padres and their support for all of us. Whether we're here at home or deployed overseas, it's a great place to live.
Admiral, for those of our viewers that don't understand just how vast the 3rd Fleet is, I understand it's about 50 million square miles of ocean. You cover the ports from California, Washington, all the way over to Hawaii. Can you explain a little bit further exactly what you guys do?
Sure. 3rd Fleet is all of the naval forces on the West Coast out to Hawaii. And we are responsible, 3rd Fleet is responsible for ensuring that those forces are ready to deploy around the world, giving them the integrated training that they need, and then ensuring when they go over to 5th Fleet to 7th Fleet that they're as ready as they can be.
So a lot of responsibility, not only protecting our coast, but getting all those sailors ready for other deployments as well.
Exactly.
Okay, so we need to at least bring this up for a moment. I know that you tried to downplay it, but you're the first woman to actually be commanding a fleet. You were the first woman to be in charge of an aircraft carrier strike force as well. I know that you consider yourself first and foremost a professional naval officer, but a little bit of pride in knowing that you're breaking down some of the barriers for other women in the world.
Yeah, well, I'm very proud of it. It's been a great career, and I've had opportunities that I never dreamed I would have. I was very fortunate that the laws changed when they did, the policies changed when they did. And as you said, it's all about professionalism and doing your job to the best of your ability. And I feel very fortunate that I've had those opportunities and that women have all of those opportunities available to them now. And all they've got to do is go out there and take advantage of that opportunity and do their best.
Admiral, you've done so many different things in the Navy. Originally an aviating officer, then you ended up in submarines as well and everything in between. Do you have a favorite assignment that you look back on?
Well, there's nothing like being the commanding officer of a ship, and I had the opportunity to command one of our LHDs, one of our amphibious assault ships, USS Baton, on the East Coast, and it was probably one of the best experiences of my life.
Admiral, it all started off for you actually in Vanderbilt as an English major. How did you end up the commander of the 3rd Fleet at this point?
Well, again, it was about opportunity, and after I graduated and I was thinking about going to law school, a recruiter called me and said, hey, we got your name and number, why don't you come talk to us? And one thing led to another, and here I am almost 38 years later, and it's been an incredible adventure.
Well, we appreciate all your service. Thank you so much, and thanks for bringing some luck here. You got the 3-0 lead for us.
I'll try to keep it going. Thanks.
Admiral, thank you so much. Thanks. Guys, 3rd Fleet's in good hands. Sleep well tonight. Back over to you.
Absolutely. Thanks very much, Bob.
Very nice. That's great.
1 out, 1 on here. Ian Kinsler with a walk with 1 down, and Miguel Cabrera batting. Grounder could be 2 as Wahe flips to second for 1, on to first. It is 2. Padres turn their 2nd double play of the afternoon. We've played 2.5, and the Padres have a 3-0 lead. Well, this will go 4 to 6 to 3. And it will end the top of the 3rd inning.
Nothing. Hey, the can't miss event of the summer hits South Beach when baseball's biggest stars take the field for the MLB All-Star Game, July 11th from Miami, only on Fox. Don, where can you watch it?
On Fox. Last half of the 3rd inning, and leading it off, Will Myers hit a 2-out solo home run in the 1st inning, his 15th home run of the year.
Good pitch on the curveball.
51 pitches already for Zimmerman, dealing with his first hitter here, the 3rd inning. Myers homered, Ibar homered, both solo shots.
And you can see that Zimmerman pitches up in the zone. It's a matter of laying off those high pitches. And over the course of the year, I think teams can go through spurts. But one thing in particular, the Padres, got to lay off that high fastball. That's out of the zone. We've seen them fish for that before and wait for them to bring it down a little bit.
We talked about earlier, a lot of fly ball outs. Second lowest ground ball rate. Wow, a couple of good pitches there that Zimmerman didn't get. Myers will take the walk. Second walk allowed by Zimmerman.
A couple of pitches that at bat. Zimmerman getting squeezed.
Today's Cold Hard Facts are brought to you by Clean Crisp Coors Light. Next average at home in the month of June, and Corey Spangenberg at 484 here at Petco Park in June. Had a walk in the first inning. And now gets a second look at Zimmerman. A 12-pitch at bat in the first inning for Spangenberg. Got down 0-2, fouled some off, took some. And by the end of 12 pitches, he was headed down to first base with a base on balls. Three-game hitting streak for Corey coming in. Going for his last 9 at the plate. Tigers double play depth here with nobody out in the third. Another check on Myers diving back head first into the outfield side of the bag at first base, trying to get as far away from the tag as he could.
We talk about catchers and the throwing out of runners, their percentage. Major League average anywhere from 30 to 32%. Remember, we talked about Avila going into this game, 38%. Mccann behind the plate, 28% throwing out runners. 9 for 23. Stolen bases 23, caught stealing 9 is what I was trying to say. Don't give me that look either. You can just say it. Don't give me the look. Just say it. Call me out. I have a lot more respect for you. For the love of Pete.
I was going to share with everybody. I was just going to keep it between us. But now that you,
hey, the listeners and the viewers,
you know,
they're extended family to me. You should be in on it, right?
Absolutely. Fouled off at the dish, and the count is 1-2.
As soon as I said that, I look over at you and you're like,
it was just tough to follow. I didn't know that you had made a mistake.
Yeah.
The numbers weren't adding up, and I was trying to figure it out.
They've stolen 23 bases off of Mccann. He's only thrown out 9. So the success rate.
1-2 pitch coming up here to Spangenberg. Starting to stop for Myers in a pop-up. Foul ground. Down comes Cabrera. Over goes Mccann. And neither will catch it. Lands on the steps of the Padres dugout. Cabrera ended up being the closest, I think, coming down from first base.
Catchable ball, just didn't get there in time. Remember, he can't go in the dugout.
Ended up on the top step. So another chance here now for Spangenberg with nobody out, runner at first. And gone, and he did. So Spangenberg strikes out. And strikeout number 5 for Jordan Zimmerman, and 1 down here in the third. Well, the success for Zimmerman, certainly in Washington, has not really translated here last couple of years, 2016 and 17. Remember, on average, almost 2 runs higher, 5.04.
Always considered Jordan Zimmerman a horse, right? When you look at him and what he has to offer, his build, and you know the innings pitched, especially when he was with the Nationals. You know, he was one of those guys that always going to keep you in a game, and a guy you feel good about once every 5 days going out there. He's a horse.
Austin Hedges getting his second look at him, and he'll swing away. Lift a fly ball to center. Mike Matuk out there in center today. And he makes the catch for the second out of the inning. So 2 away, and Myers at first. Eric Ibar coming up. Last time Eric Ibar was at the plate, he did this, his 6th home run of the year.
Hanging curveball. Speeds up the bat of Ibar.
Jordan Zimmerman broke into the big leagues in 2009 for the Washington Nationals. He's a National through 2015. This is year 2 in Detroit for Zimmerman. High drive, but foul.
You know, I think sometimes hitters, remember those curveball he hit for the home run? Like that pitch there, that was a fastball. I think hitters go up looking first pitch. He's not going to throw him that curveball again. They hunt the fastball. I think that might be a case, right?
End up out ahead like he did.
Yes.
Runner goes, they pitch out, guessed right, and Myers would be out at second base, caught trying to steal. So the pitch out works there for the Tigers, but it's 3-0 Padres.
It's pretty obvious. I don't really have to explain it. If you're watching it, you know. We started giving up base runners, and the home run hurt, and couldn't stop the bleeding.
Rondon looked like he was going to get up in the pen down there. Any reason you didn't go to him at some point tonight?
Yeah, because I didn't want to.
Well, Tigers have lost 8 straight. Brad Ausmus answering questions after last night's loss. And Mark Rand, I'll start with you. It seems like certainly tough times right now for the Tigers.
The wick gets about that big. And the questions that are fair questions, don't get me wrong. Yeah. And as a manager, you're trying to win ball games, and you have a tendency to react in a certain way because, quite frankly, you're ticked, trying to turn things around. But you know what? I mean, they're fair questions. Fair questions.
Yeah. There's an expectation level. I think the Detroit Tigers and the history of the Tigers comes into play. And obviously, when you lose 8 straight in the way they're losing, it comes into question of are the players out there motivated? I always look at it this way. I've been around a lot of managers, been under fire. You got to go out there and perform and do your individual job collectively as a group. I always thought of it as the players are underperforming. You got to go out there and earn your contract. Go out there and have pride in what you do. Obviously, you see the Detroit Tigers, who are a very talented squad, and I think Brad Ausmus is a smart manager, but you hear the frustration and you see the product on the field that they are underachieving.
Yeah, you look at this roster and you say to yourself, well, you got some potential MVP type guys now. Miguel Cabrera is not having an MVP type season. This one is lifted to left, and that ball is going to get down and one hop up into the seats. So Justin Upton with his second double of this game. This one to left starts the top of the fourth inning. Yeah, but underachieving really, I think, is what we're looking at here based on the roster this team has. The bullpen's not been good. That has been a problem. There's no doubt about that, to the point where Francisco Rodriguez was just released on Friday before this series started after some blown saves. But right now, he's certainly, Brad Ausmus, the former Padre, under the microscope. And some wonder whether if they don't win today, what does that mean tomorrow for him?
Well, it's been documented.
Left side, Spangenberg goes on the run and in time. Upton remains at second, one away.
It's been documented in the press from sports writers, and everybody can speculate. They're wondering if this could be the last game of the road trip, the last for Brad Ausmus.
Right now, the Tigers are 32-42, 7.5 games back of the Indians in the AL Central to begin things.
Yeah, and you look at the division itself, and you obviously 7.5 back doesn't seem like insurmountable if you go on a run, and this roster is talented enough to do that. That being said, you look at effort, you look at teams that you're supposed to beat, and you look at what's going on when you're underachieving. And yes, there's injuries that come into play. As you said, Miguel Cabrera does not look like the same player. He could be experiencing injuries, but that's not the whole roster. The pitching is 25th in Major League Baseball. That's not going to get it done. And this is a roster built to win. And obviously they had to be healthy, but this has been a struggling atmosphere that we've witnessed. Not taking anything away from the Padres because they've played well, but they're underachieving roster, in my opinion.
And once again, it's going to be an older roster too. Will they be sellers? There's been speculation that we talked about this the first game of the series.
Let's look at the free agents at the end of the season, and some pretty good names right there that perhaps would be available if they are indeed sellers. We'll know more towards the end of July, but certainly these guys are interesting.
Well, you've heard too, the minor leagues are not plentiful when it comes to top prospects. So JD Martinez comes to mind. It's always that name a lot of people are talking about.
Right center field, and coming over, diving as Cesar can't get it. It's by him. And Upton being waved around. He's going to try and score. Will, as getting to third base is Matuk. And the Tigers are on the board. It's now 3-1. Pretty good bit out there by Matt Cesar, coming from center to right center field.
That was a great effort by Matt. Oh, I thought he had it. When he laid out, and he's on the shortstop side of second base now. A long run and then lays out. Oh, just out of his reach. Gotta appreciate that. And backing up Hunter Renfroe nicely.
Matuk now at third base, one down, a run in for Detroit. And it brings up Castellanos. His ground ball, diving at third is Spangenberg. His throw to first on a double pump will be in time. Good stretch there by Myers as he had to keep the foot on the bag, and he did so successfully. Nice play by Spangenberg.
Well, he saves a run. Great reaction. The one hopper. Eyes the runner. Gets him by a half step.
Frustrated Castellanos is out number 2 of the inning. Brings up James Mccann, the Tigers catcher. Can bounce into a 5-4-3 double play in the second inning. Padres have turned 2 double plays in the first 3 innings. 9 ground ball outs in this game already for Clayton Richard. Couple of strikeouts along the way, 2 walks. He's given up his first run of his outing in this inning after a leadoff double by Justin Upton. (3-0). Jose Iglesias waiting on deck. Tigers batting here in the visiting half of the 4th inning.
Wouldn't be the worst thing if you walk him here. Iglesias is really struggling lately at the plate.
Liner that is partially, I think, went off the glove of Spansberg. It is down the line. And coming in to score here, the second Tigers run is Matuk, as Mccann has got himself an RBI double.
Well, we saw Corey already make one spectacular play this inning. Now to his right, diving. And Don, you're right. I think he got some glove on this. Just off the webbing.
How about 3-0 swing by Mccann?
Yeah.
Being aggressive, looking for that pitch that's elevated.
Maybe because Iglesias is struggling so much, right, Mark?
3 extra base hits in the inning, 2 doubles and a triple, 2 runs in. The tying run out there at second base now. Jose Iglesias 0 for 1 in this game, 0 for his last 22 at the plate. '50th pitch of the outing coming up here for Richard. And it's in there for strike 1.
Well, even the struggles in this situation, Clayton Richard could actually throw to him like he has 2 strikes. With the pitcher up next, who Jordan Zimmerman's a good athlete. Been out of the National League for a couple years now.
Mccann with his lead at second base, 2-1 pitch. And a swing and a miss. Iglesias bouncing out to shortstop, first time up, getting his second look at Clayton Richard.
Back-to-back changeups?
Why not? Might be something hard in here.
Into center field, a base hit. Here comes Mccann around from second. Throw will be not in time. And taking second base is Iglesias. Tigers have erased a 3-run deficit and have tied the game 3-3. Big hit for Jose Iglesias. Big inning for the Tigers.
2-2 heater in. Hey, credit Iglesias for getting to this ball on contact. Gets in on him a little bit, but he hit that ball really, really well. Now the race is on, just over the head. I didn't think they were going to get, with 2 outs off of the crack of the bat, over the head of Will Myers. Trying to prevent that guy from getting to second base. With being Iglesias, he takes second on the throw.
7th member of the Tigers to bat in the inning is Zimmerman, who has now seen that 3-run lead by the Padres go by the boards. He's got a clean slate now, the starting pitcher for the Tigers. Struck out in the 3rd inning. And it's sharply hit the short, knocked down by Ibar, who is partially blocked there, and he stays with it to retire Zimmerman and to end the inning. A 3 spot on the board as time this game 3-3.
location. Let's go back to Will Myers, the hanging slider right down the middle, and Will made him pay. Now, Jordan Zimmerman also throws a curveball, a hanging curveball to Eric Ibar. He sent it on its way. Matt Cesar, he goes down, takes it the opposite way. So the Padres, they're back to square one now, tied up at 3, but they've seen the arsenal of Jordan Zimmerman. They've crushed the mistakes, and hopefully they break this tie here in the bottom of the 4th.
A new lease on life for Zimmerman. Giving up a run in the first, 2 in the second. Now a tie game to the bottom of the 4th inning. 6, 7, and 8 anticipated here for San Diego. It'll be Ibar, Renfroe, and Cesar. Ibar with a solo home run in the second inning. One of 2 home runs today for the Padres off Zimmerman. Ibar with his 6th home run of the year. Drops a bunt down, and coming from third, Castellanos. His throw is not going to be in time. Almost threw it away. Probably would have been better suited just sticking it in his back pocket. A single for Ibar.
Well, Don, what a perfect bunt in the placement. Watch the perfect pitch to get it. It's an elevated fastball, but he deadens it, and it actually has that movement towards the line. Watch it go down towards the line. And Castellanos, to your point, Don, should have put it in his pocket. Had no chance to get Ibar with a perfect bunt.
I think if he lets that go, there's a possibility going foul too.
So a leadoff bunt single here for Ibar, and Hunter Renfroe coming up. For a 1-for-1, a single in the second inning and a run scored. Outside for ball 2, 2-0.
You know, guys, you go back to that bunt, and with Ibar as a left-hander, you can see where out of the corner of your eye where that third baseman is playing. If he's back, perfect scenario to lay that down, and perfect timing. Obviously, Detroit comes back with the 3 runs in the top of the 4th. Well, you got to answer back.
This will get away, and Ibar will take second base. Wild pitch this time, charged to Zimmerman. Been a pass ball in the second inning.
Not even close with that location of that breaking ball.
Ibar at second, nobody out. Padres trying to answer a 3-run top half of the 4th inning. Good pitch in there for strike 1. Ball 4, and he loses Renfroe. 3rd walk allowed by Zimmerman today, and the first 2 have reached here for San Diego in the bottom of the 4th inning. The Tigers just scored 3 runs, and all of a sudden now Padres have 2 on with nobody out in the bottom of the 4th inning. Pitch 70, and the outing coming up for Jordan Zimmerman. Be to Matt Cesar, who tripled in a run in the second inning.
See if he starts him out with a slider. Heater.
Well, guys, you see the defense. Castellanos behind the bag now, but he was playing even with that on that first pitch, and Cesar takes a hack at that, moves him back.
Strike call. Cesar in the hole now, 0-2.
Not a typical situation where you bunt hitting 8th because the pitcher spot behind you. Any way to put pressure on Jordan Zimmerman.
Ibar at second, Renfroe at first. Nobody out here in the last of the 4th inning. In the dirt, and Mccann does a nice job there of blocking that curveball. Breaking balls have been in the dirt. Blocked some, not others. Fastball on a wild pitch so far in this game for the Tigers. Wild pitch coming in this inning has Ibar at second. A walk to Renfroe. Has him at first. Cesar to center. Matuk coming in and over and almost overend that ball. Makes the catch. Tagging and trying for third is Ibar, and he'll get there. Seemed to surprise Matuk as he threw it back into the infield. Kind of a changeup back into the infield, and Ibar aggressively tags and takes third.
You know what I loved about that play? Because Ibar goes back with no outs, you have to be able to tag and watch the center fielder. And Matuk comes in really hard, and I think he overplays this ball. His momentum is going backwards, so that tells you as a base runner, take third, because it has to be a perfect throw with a strong arm. Nice play by Ibar. Taking that extra base is essential, especially those one-run ball games. Can be a difference so many times.
Well, his visit is not the pitching coach, Rich Doobie. It is the manager, Brad Osmus, going out there with one out and runners at first and third.
Well, so many things they can do here. Put the runner in motion. You can put down a safety squeeze. Clayton Richard can swing the bat well. Brad Osmus just wants everybody to stay on the same page with every possible scenario that could take place.
Yeah, a lot of meetings out there too. Glenn Hoffman had the ability to come down and have a discussion with Clayton Richard.
Richard struck out in the 2nd inning. Second plate appearance today against Jordan Zimmerman. Richard squaring, drops down, the safety squeeze. They're coming home. It'll be safe. Had to tag him, didn't. In the back door from third comes Ibar, and the Padres take the lead again on top 4-3.
I love that play, Mark Sweeney. I absolutely love it.
I do too, and the reason why it's set up so nicely with Ibar getting the third gives them an opportunity to lay down the bunt. Clayton Richard, perfect bunt down the first base line, puts a lot of pressure on Zimmerman. He makes the bad decision to try to get Ibar, who reads this perfectly. That's a clinic on base running by Ibar, but also the bunt by Clayton Richard. Gotta love that.
And you know, getting it done early too, right? That's so key as well. Those plays are fun to watch.
So first and second, one down, a run in. Padres back on top. Jose Perella lines this down the left field line. That is going to get in, and one hop up into the seats. Kind of cost the Padres in some ways. They'll get one run out of it. They probably would have gotten two, but because it ends up in the seats, they have to leave Richard at third base. But a 5-3 Padres lead, and Jose Perella drives in a run.
Breaking ball, and Perella gets extended. Oh, that's an aggressive swing. Now, the ball off the track. Hey, it's great. Love the double. But having that run and Clayton Richard across would have been awesome as well. Would have been so awesome. But he's got to go back to third base.
second and third. Still only one out, and here is Carlos Wahe. There for a strike. Wahe 0 for 2. He's flied out to left and struck out swinging. Warwick Sopold up in the pen. Popped up, shallow left. Iglesias out, Upton in. Upton calls him off and makes the catch. Much easier play for him coming in, and that's out number 2. Well, the day after the Padres score 5 or more runs, well, like tomorrow, get 50% off any regular menu price online order at papajohns.com. Enter promo code Padres5. Padres on top here, 5-3 now. They continue to bat in the bottom of the 4th inning. And Will Myers coming up. With a solo home run in the first, walked in the third.
You think Myers gets much to hit here?
I said he put him on.
First base open.
You know, I've always contended, why not? I mean, you know, we've seen guys that fall behind 2-0, then they put them on, right?
Yeah.
Why take the chance of a guy missing with the location of a pitch to do some damage?
I think it has a lot to do with a veteran pitcher putting it in his hands. A young pitcher, I think you take it out of his hands. But with me, no offense to Corey Spangenberg, I'm putting him on in this scenario. This game could get out of reach.
Yeah, 2 pitches up in the zone. Also, what comes into play here is the patience of Will Myers. He doesn't want to get too froggy and swing at a bad pitch.
I guess they're hoping he's going to get himself out here.
Right.
Yeah, I think he's going to look like a trophy right here.
In there for a strike, and it's 2-1.
See the trophy?
Yeah. Like first place in Little League?
Yep. Everyone gets a trophy.
I hate that. Not a fan.
That's nice.
For all you kids out there.
Foul back, and it's 2-2.
Yeah. Earn the championship.
Also participated is not big on your list.
No.
Participation trophy.
Hey, I remember one year we didn't win. I cried. Hang with them.
You still got ice cream,
Wait till
didn't you?
next year.
You got ice cream after the game.
You bet he did. At least one. 2-2 now to Myers. And that's a high full count. Spangenberg waiting on deck. Padres have played at 2 runs so far here in the bottom of the 4th, taking a 5-3 lead.
Think he goes breaking ball here?
I mean, he might, yeah, slider down and away. Or fastball up. He's thrown, well, how many? 3 fastballs up and out of the zone here. Hoping that he's going to chase. I would say fastball because I think he's got better control of that fastball. Maybe up and out of the zone rather than miss him with a slider over the heart of the plate maybe.
Well, it just buys into Will Myers' philosophy when he is going well. If you guys have seen it, that right center approach just keeps him on that breaking ball a little bit longer. Doesn't mean you get away from the fastball mentality. It enables you to stay through that breaking ball if you see it out of the hands.
Myers on the ground to shortstop, and it is Iglesias who goes to first for the out. That will end the inning. But the Padres come up with 2 in the inning. But a safety squeeze drop down that will score Ibar. Then a double for Jose Pirela that scores Renfroe and gives the Padres a 5-3 lead at the end of 4 from San Diego.
A 5-3 Padre lead as we head to the top of the 5th inning. And what you're looking at right now is Lieutenant Jim Downing throwing out the first pitch, 103 years young. He is the second oldest living survivor of the Pearl Harbor attack. And Lieutenant, congratulations. Thanks for joining us here today. A fantastic first pitch. How did you feel out there?
Well, I wish I could have thrown it further.
It was right on line, though. It was a perfect strike. Lieutenant, 19 years old is when you first joined the Navy. What was that decision all about? Why did you try to join the Navy at that age? And we got some great pictures of you, a handsome young man.
Yes, I graduated from high school in the middle of the Great Depression. So the only way out of a small town on your own was to go in the military. I had a friend that before me was on a submarine. His take-home pay was $90 a month. My father was a bank president. His salary was $90 a month. So it was out of economic necessity and opportunity. I wasn't super patriotic. I didn't want to travel, but I needed the money.
It's all about the dollars at that point, huh? It worked out okay for you. So you joined, but little did you know the adventure that you were going to go on December 7th, 1941, when Pearl Harbor got attacked. What are your memories of that day?
Well, when I decided to make a career, I figured I'd be involved in at least one war. And so when it happened, I said, well, this is it. So I wasn't totally prepared. But that morning, the things that went through my mind, the first was surprise. We had no radar satellites in those days. We didn't know they were coming until we saw them. And then the first Japanese plane I got close to, the pilot banked, machine gun opened up, went over my head, and it cut me in two. So I was afraid that the next pilot would be more accurate.
Well, good thing he wasn't, and the story goes on that you actually tried to get back to your ship, the USS West Virginia. You couldn't get there, so you used another ship to try to get back to your shipmates?
Well, actually, we were tied up to another ship. We were outboard, she was inboard. So I crawled down a gun barrel from the battleship Tennessee onto my own ship.
And Lieutenant, at that point, not only are you fighting off the Japanese, but at the same time, you are gathering the names of your fallen shipmates at that point. What did you then do with those names?
Yes, well, I picked up a fire hose to try to put out the flames on my ship. And I saw these bodies lying around. And my thought was, now their parents will never know how they spent their last hours. So they had name tags that were fireproof and lanyards fireproof. So I memorized several names and wrote to their parents.
That's incredible. Hey, we've got time for just another couple quick questions. You got a chance to see Babe Ruth, and how much did you pay to watch Babe Ruth?
Well, all we had to pay was the tax, 20 cents.
That's a pretty cheap ticket right there. Last thing, you're the oldest author. Tell us about the book that you have out right now.
Yes, I've written a book. It's about Pearl Harbor. Mainly it's called The Other Side of Infamy. And it just came out 6 months ago, but it gives kind of my whole career. I had more adventures and experiences than most people I know.
And you share them all in the book. Lieutenant, thank you so much for the time. Thank you for your service.
Thank you, and it's an honor to be with you.
103 years young, guys, and I think there's still a lot of fight left in this, Sailor. Guys, back to you.
All right, Scan, thanks very much. That's great.
That's outstanding.
Good first pitch, too. That was impressive.
That was great.
Now Clayton Richard has the first 2 outs here of the 5th inning. Justin Upton with 2 doubles in this game. One to right, one to left. And he sprays one foul down the right field line out of play.
You know, the first thing I think of is what a generation that was. Can you imagine us 3 back as 17, 18-year-olds going to the recruiting office and signing your name and just, really? We'll never know. And for what they did, it's amazing. Like Jerry Coleman told us all the time. I mean, he didn't like to talk about it when he did share it with us. He said, you know what? It was my duty. I wanted to do it. That's what was instilled in us when we were younger.
That's a responsibility and a passion of theirs, and I marvel at that.
And the Marine recruits here every Sunday.
On their way to earning their Globe, Anchor, and Eagle. There they are.
One, 2 is downstairs. 2-2.
You know, I say this, I've said it a couple times. It's open to the public. If you ever get a chance to go to MCRD for graduation, go. My nephew graduated from there years ago, but it's open to the public. Get online, find out, and I think there's, and I know there's people maybe that can help out on Twitter how often they have graduate, maybe every 8 weeks or whatever it is. But check online and go experience it. It will, you'll be glad you did.
Now today, men and women on the baselines prior to the game. Multiple Navy commands, ported, of course, in San Diego. And they have the flyover. Navy H-60 Romeo helicopters. HSM 49 prior to the ball game. A little bit high. Full count down.
Trying to go on top of the zone, and ooh, that's a strike.
It's been a battle here. 9th pitch of the at-bat coming up. And Clayton Richard wins that battle. He strikes out Upton. A 1-2-3 5th. 5-3 San Diego lead. Around Major League Baseball, Cody Bellinger has gone deep yet again for the Dodgers today. 2-run home run, 23rd of the season for the rookie. Rockies lead the Dodgers though 5-4. They're in the 5th inning in that big NL West battle going on today at Chavez Ravine.
Dodgers were down 5-0 in that game, and Bellinger put him only one down. He continues to kill the baseball, no matter if you're right-handed or left-handed.
He's unbelievable, isn't he? How about during the 9-game winning streak, the Dodgers have outscored their opponents by 45 runs, 67-22.
Yeah, their strength of schedule has really benefited the Dodgers.
Who is hot, who is not? The LA Dodgers last 9 games going 9-0. Their starters 8-0 with a 2.41 ERA during that time. And these Detroit Tigers 0-8 with a 0-4 relievers pen situation of an 8.72 earned run average for the pen. And we have seen it up close and personal in this series. Maurice Spangenberg shows bunt, pulls it back, and he'll take ball 1. New pitcher is Warwick Saupold into the game now.
Well, the bullpen we've talked about during the skid for these Tigers, now up above 8, the ERA for the bullpen. 14th game for the right-hander.
Fly ball headed out towards center field, and Mike Matuk is out there today. High sky, and he makes the catch for the first out here at the bottom of the 5th.
Has there ever been another pitcher in Major League Baseball history with the first name Warwick?
Dion?
She pitched in the majors. Pretty sure. I mean, I don't know.
Heard she had a nasty slider.
Went out here in the 5th. Austin 0 for 1 today. He has struck out and flied out.
Has there been?
You know, I don't know. We can find out. This Warwick. Saupold, is that how you say it?
I think so.
It's not overpowering.
Did you just snort?
It's on 92, 93 on the fastball, always working from the stretch.
You know what that makes him, right?
A snorter.
Yeah.
There's a pop-up. Back comes Mccann, and he won't have a play.
We'll throw the 2-seamer, the 4-seamer, a slider, and a curveball.
You've heard of the Great Gatsby?
Yeah.
We have the Fat Gatsby. Did you see the seersucker suit today?
I did.
Yeah.
Thought I'd break it out.
Well played.
It's a hot one.
He doesn't have his jacket on. Unfortunately, it's in the back, but it is
It's
Gatsby
98 degrees.
The pants, you're rocking them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Show him your pants.
It's like wearing.
Come on.
Like wearing pajamas.
There you go.
I love this seriously.
Come on, seriously. I'll give you some more
the
room.
white bucks.
shoes.
Watch out.
We have Fat Gatsby.
We have
And cankles.
and
He does have cankles. They're like pillars in front of the White House.
You can barely notice them. Seriously, they're fine.
Where does your ankle begin?
sorry about the huge calves.
Fat.
Pants look great, though.
Really good.
They do.
They feel great.
In the dirt.
Here's the
What was that?
2-2.
What was it?
Payoff pitcher to Austin Hedges, and he'll foul it back. On the ground and through into left field, a base hit for Austin Hedges. His first hit of the day comes with 1 out here in the 5th inning.
And keep the pedal to the metal. Up by 2, add on. And finding the hole on the left side. Hard line drives, hard grounders. It looked like that Castellanos was a dive from the line, finding the 5.5 hole nicely.
All right, but we have answers to your question about Warwick. He is the first player to have the first name Warwick in Major League Baseball. 2 players with the last name of Warwick, but he is the first to have his first name be Warwick. So you were on it, man.
We just learned something.
Yeah. On the ground, foul.
On the where?
On the ground, foul.
Need some water there?
Okay.
Let me clear my throat.
You worry about your ankles.
I'm sorry I brought that up. I just
I felt
it was weight bearing.
You were an analyst and you made a great observation.
Yeah.
That's it. And you said it. You saw what you saw.
I was just worried about those socks.
You don't like the Argyles?
No, I loved them. I was just wondering how far they could go up.
Yeah.
They're great socks.
I like my ankles.
No, everything's proportional. Ball and a strike. 1 out here in the 5th. Padres on top 5-3. Top foul. And it's 1-2. Jordan Zimmerman goes the first 4 innings. Ends up giving up 6 hits, charged with 5 runs, walked 3, struck out 5, and departs on the hook. Came into this game 5-5. His ground ball softly towards second. Kinsler is going to throw to first for the out there. Now this will be a tag play as they have Hedges hung up. Throw is going to be in time, and it turns into a double play. Had him in the rundown, but it ends the 5th. Padres have a 5-3 lead through 5. And getting it started, Will Myers in the first inning with a solo home run. But Myers' 15th home run of the year gave the Padres a 1-0 advantage. They would add on to make it 2-0 on a home run by Eric Ibar in the 2nd inning. Back came the Tigers, though, trailing 3-0 as Matuk hits a triple, and Justin Upton coming around to score. They would tie it up, but then a safety squeeze here, dropped down by Clayton Richard. Ibar comes in. And the Padres have a lead again and enjoy a 5-3 lead now. Zimmerman has gone from this game. He goes 4 innings, giving up 5 runs. Clayton Richard has gone the first 5, giving up 3. Well, Myers and Ibar just saw their home runs, all part of a 5-3 Padres lead as they try to sweep the Tigers. And we head into the 6th inning. Playing day baseball today in San Diego. Clayton Richard back on the mound. And pitch 72 of his afternoon to J.D. Martinez, who has walked and grounded out to third base. Took and Castellanos to follow Martinez here in the inning. Tigers will be headed home after the ball game. Their road trip to the West Coast will come to an end today. They're in Seattle last 4 days before arriving here in San Diego. Right back through the middle and into center field. Ringing single for J.D. Martinez to open up this 6th inning.
No, 1-1 fastball. You know what? With the way that Clayton Richard keeps the ball down, he's going to give up hits. And as you look before this ball game, in 94 1/3 frames pitched, 108 hits. Now, a lot of people might look at that and say, oh, gosh, he's getting tattooed all over the place. Well, right through the 5-hole there, right? Right off the mound. He's going to give up a lot of singles, find the holes, because he's a ground ball pitcher.
Well, there is contact, but it's generally on the ground. 11 ground ball outs in this game.
You know what, guys, credit the Padre hitters this afternoon for good plate appearances, good ABs, getting Zimmerman out of there. Only 4 frames.
Yeah, that's one of your keys.
Fly ball headed out towards center field. Cesar out there to make the catch for the first out of the inning, and Martinez retraces his steps back to first.
You know, guys, we know we had that first base show last night. So on the phone this morning, I get on with Wally Joyner, who was nice enough to come on our broadcast last night. He said, hope things worked well. And it's just about Wally Joyner, if you've ever been around him. And he said, how'd everything go? I said, thank you very much for being on. He said, you know what I had to do? I was watching the game. He said, I don't get good reception in my house on my cell phone. So I had to get in my car and drive down the street to be on with us. So thank you, Wally. I thought it was really funny to know that he would go those lengths just to be on our broadcast. So thank you, Wally, for being a pro as always.
Did a great job.
Yeah, it was
great
great
listening to him. 1 out, 1 on. Nick Castellanos. 1 for 2 in the ball game. J.D. Martinez with a single to begin things in the 6th. Mike Matook flied out to center. Baseball has come out onto the field, so that Cesar goes and gets it, flips it back into the seats.
He's not happy.
Kirby Yates up in the pen for the Padres. Sliced foul off to the right, 1-1. Clayton Richard been very good the last couple of times out. 8 2/3, giving up 2 runs in the win against Cincinnati. Last time out against his former team, the Cubs, he went 6 1/3, giving up only 2 runs. Fly ball struck well to right field. Renfroe going back at the wall. It's gone, and this game is tied again. Nick Castellanos with his 9th home run of the year ties it up 5-5 here in the 6th inning.
Well, it looked like back-to-back fastballs to Castellanos. He fouled the one previously, but this is located a little elevated in the strike zone. He was really trying to work underneath that 2-seamer of Clayton Richard.
Yeah, it looked like he wanted to get the pitch in, and it leaks over the heart, and he takes it the opposite way, outer third. That's just good old hitting right there by Castellanos.
So 5-5, tied up again, and here is James Mccann. It's bounced into a 5-4-3 double play, singled to drive in a run. Alex Avila on the bench today for Brad Ausmus. Foul tipped, 1-2.
So many times you have to play to your schedule, guys, but both teams having an off day, it just changes the mentality of how you can manage this game. Being able to use your bullpen, mixing and matching a little bit more.
Padres with leads of 3-0 and 5-3 today. Now tied up 5-5 with one out here in the 6th inning. In the dirt, almost hit Mccann. It did hit Mccann. Apparently down to first base he goes. He thought it hit him. The umpire not agreeing with him, so back he comes. Bruce Streckman, the home plate umpire.
Pretty good sell job.
Yeah.
So it's 2-2. Lined into right field, a base hit. Mccann with an opposite field single. Third hit of the inning for the Tigers.
Well, rather than trying to pull, Clayton Richard looks like the Tigers trying to go the opposite way. That's pretty much upper body swing right there. Taking him the opposite way.
Andy Green.
He wants it down in a way. It's, boy, probably if taken a ball. So McCann spanks it the other way for the knock.
That is the day for Clayton Richard. He departs in a tie game, responsible for the runner at first base. Pitching change from ball, brought to you by Sequan Casino. Sign up for the Padres club card today. By USAA, proudly serving the needs of the military community for over 90 years. And by your San Diego County Lexus dealer, who invites you to test drive a Lexus today. Military Sunday at Petco Park in San Diego. In the midst of the top of the 6th inning, Tigers have already tied the score again, 5-5, and now have a runner at first with one down. And Padres go to the bullpen. Clayton Richard leaving after 5 1/3. Kirby Yates now in for the Padres.
Kirby got the W last night. Pitched an inning, Struck out 1. He entered in the 8th.
Little bloop as Ibar goes back to make the catch on Iglesias for out number 2 of the inning.
Well, Kirby loves to pitch here at Petco Park as we take a look at. I was hoping that Clayton Richard get out of this inning, still be pitcher of record, and the Padres coming back and breaking this tie. Kirby loves pitching here at Petco Park in 11 games. 0.75 ERA here at Petco Park as you take a look at the line for Clayton this afternoon.
Alex Avila going to pinch hit here against Kirby Yates in the pitcher spot. .320 average, 10 homers, 27 runs batted in. He's had a very good season in his return to Detroit.
Arguably, you could say he's the best player they've had all year. Started as a backup, and he has played his way into an everyday regular again.
Avila to shallow left. Barella went back. Now he comes in. He's not going to catch it. A bobble, too, as Mccann gets to third base, and it's first and third. Barella started back on that ball, then sideways, and by the time he came in, it falls in front of him for a base hit for Alex Avila. Go ahead run now, 90 feet away.
Oh, now he's in the picture. And I think a ball hit up in the air that long, got to be caught. Bad read. Any way you look at it, Tigers extend the inning.
So first and third, 2 down. Ian Kinsler coming up here, the chance to put the Tigers on top. Six but called the ball. Kirby Yates first out of the pen today for San Diego.
Also a different look for these Tiger hitters. You're going to have to turn up the dial a little bit with the 96-mile-an-hour fastball and from the right side.
Straightens him up 2-0. Yates very good here at Petco Park, a 0.75 earned run average coming in. Strike called, and it's 2-1.
A 2-0 breaking ball by Yates. Good feel for that off-speed pitch. At 259, he has a presence on the on-deck circle.
Strike 2.
I was just going to say that, Mike. That's a guy you don't want to face right here in this situation. Get him up to the plate.
I'm surprised Kinsler even took that fastball for a strike.
Kinsler has grounded out, walked, and flied out to the warning track and left. First and third in a tie game. 2 down here in the top of the 6th inning. Kinsler straightened up. A full count now. Mccann at third. Avila at first base. Get a start here with 2 down and the full count. Kinsler strikes out. Kirby Yates gets him. So the strikeout of Ian Kinsler by Kirby Yates ends this 6th inning, but a 2-run home run has tied the score at 5. Carlos Stanton taking this one out of the yard. His 20th home run of the season. Part of a 4-2 win for Miami over Chicago. Here it is 5-5 as we head to the bottom half of the 6th inning. A 2-run top half of the 6th. Tied this game up 5-5. Bottom third of the Padres order coming up. And new pitcher in the game, Alex Wilson.
Well, anybody's game right now, the 35th game, and we mentioned the kryptonite for these Tigers is that bullpen. Not bad numbers for Alex Wilson. Well, righties only, lefties 220, righties a 288 clip. A couple of righties due up here this half for the Padres.
Jumping in to Hunter Renfroe. He's been aboard twice today. Kept coming in. Renfroe singling and scoring in the 2nd. Walked and scored in the 4th inning. Popped up, shallow right. Kinsler, second baseman, out on the short lawn and right for out number 1.
This copyrighted telecast is presented by the authority of the San Diego Padres and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the San Diego Padres.
One out here in the 6th inning brings up Matt Cesar. He has tripled and driven in a run. He's also flied out to center field, 1 for 2. Cordero has come out on deck for the Padres to bat in the pitcher spot. Cesar tries to find his way on here. There's Cordero. There's action in the Padres pen. Phil Maton up for the Padres in the pen. Making some important appearances. Confidence of his manager.
Yeah, you can almost sense that from Andy Green and talking about Phil Maton.
Evens up at 2-2 here to Matt Cesar. That's a start in center field today. Getting his 3rd plate appearance of the afternoon for Andy Green. You get the impression they were very impressed with Maton during the spring. Getting a chance to pitch here as the year has gone on here in June.
Mark, I like his, Don, I agree with you. I like his makeup on the mound.
I do too. First thing I always look at, and you know how important it is as a pitcher, is the mound presence. He just doesn't look like he is nervous in certain situations. He's a strike thrower, but he's aggressive with his fastball.
Walk here now for Cesar, headed down to first base with 1 out. Cordero going to pinch hit.
You know, guys, Cordero has gone through a tough stretch, and we heard Andy Green before the game talk about how the league has adjusted to him. Now he has to adjust back. Pinch hitting situation, probably going to be aggressive, but sometimes managers will put a hit and run on just to kind of take that overthinking out of the equation. Not a bad scenario here.
Trying to snap an 0 for 23. Fastball by him for strike 1. The Padres love pinch hit home runs. So one here last night for Hector Sanchez. They've had 5 on the year. That's the most in the majors. Inside out swing and a foul ball. So Cordero down here 0-2, coming off the bench. Batting here in the pitcher's spot, in this case Kirby Yates.
When you talk about the adjustment that the league has made, they're pounding Cordero in with a lot of pitches, both the breaking ball and the fastball, as you can see our Nissan Fox tracks.
Cordero fouls off another.
That's where he wanted to go. High heater.
Well, because of injuries, Cordero is up at the big league level. He's shown well. But I almost like the fact that he goes through those struggles, because you want to see the adjustment. He's going to have to make that. Andy Green will put him in some scenarios where he will be successful.
Fastball up again.
Chases and strikes out for the second out here of the 6th inning.
Exactly the game plan. The number one, Mccann motioned up, and that's exactly what Wilson did.
So 2 down here in the 6th inning. Jose Perella coming up. The Padres left fielder has grounded out to short, struck out swinging, and doubled to left. Two for 11 in the series against the Tigers is Perella. Look out, almost ducked into that. Wilson came on here in the 6th inning. Got Renfroe to pop out to second. Cesar walked. Pinch hitter Frenchy Cordero struck out swinging. 2 outs, a runner at first. And Jose Perella batting here, 1 for 3 day. Double his last time up. Sprays it foul, evens the count at 1-1.
Now Matt Cesar at first base now has to look for that ball in the dirt, the breaking ball, with 2 outs, trying to get in scoring position. Might not be a stolen base situation, but you can still advance by anticipating.
Cabrera appeared to be surprised by that throw over by Alex Wilson. In the air, foul, and it's now 1-2.
You got a hanger there.
Carlos Wahe waiting on deck. Padres batting here in the 6th inning. Two and 2.
That ball really wasn't close to Perella, but he is trying to cover that outside part of the plate. Fastball running in, looks closer than it is.
Fly ball headed out towards short right field. J.D. Martinez, glasses on, makes the catch that ends the inning. We played 6, tied 5-5. Baseball brought to you by Honda. Great deals are waiting for you now at your local Honda dealer. By Petco, where the pets go. And by USAA, official military appreciation partner of the San Diego Padres. Military Sunday here in San Diego at Petco Park. It's been a wild game. Padres had leads of 3-0 and 5-3, but it's now tied 5-5, and Miguel Cabrera coming up to lead things off here in the Tigers' 7th inning. Phil Maton into the game now for San Diego.
And the 24-year-old from Paducah, Kentucky, facing a future Hall of Famer here. It's crunch time. It's tied at 5. We're getting late. And the times that Phil Maton has been in the game, he's done quite well. Lefty's hitting .286, though, but he's been in high leverage situations.
Miguel Cabrera today 0 for 3, strikeout, 2 groundouts. And he fouls it off to the right out of play. Now part of a double switch here, as coming out of the game was Perella. So Frenchie Cordero stays in the game in center field. Moving from center to left is Matt Cesar. So the pitcher's spot is now first in the order. High for ball 1. Starter today, Clayton Richard, 5 1/3, gave up 5 runs. Kirby Yates came in, 2 1/3, giving up a hit, no runs. Ground ball up the middle and into center field. Miguel Cabrera has got himself a base hit to begin the 7th inning for Detroit.
Well, the Padre pitching staff has been pitching him quite well. 0 for going into this game. 0 for his first 3, and finding the hole on the fastball there, 94. The 2-3-3 hopper through the middle of the infield. 3-4-4.
So a single to begin things here in the 7th, and Justin Upton. He doubled in the 1st, doubled in the 4th, and struck out in the 5th. Sprayed foul off to the right, out of play. Maton on for Kirby Yates. Third arm used today by Andy Green. Upton thought about him, but lays off.
You know, Maton's one of those pitchers that can pitch up of the zone with that spin rate and the 94-mile-an-hour fastball.
Down the right field line, evening the count now at 2-2. Be careful with Upton. 14 home runs. 2 extra base hits in this game already. 2 doubles. 5 runs, 11 hits, an error for the Tigers. 5 runs, 7 hits. No errors for the Padres. Both teams have left 5 men on base. J.D. Martinez waiting on deck here for Detroit in the 7th inning. Swing and a miss, and Upton strikes out, pitch down and away. First strikeout for Phil Maton. First out here of the 7th inning.
That's a big strikeout to a pretty darn good hitter who can change a ball game in a heartbeat. Yeah, we've seen some swings and misses, sure, but Justin Upton, on the other hand, will put the ball at the ballpark. Extra base hits. Fishes after the slider for Maton. Big pitch.
So 1 on, 1 out brings up J.D. Martinez. He's been on twice, a walk and a single. And now a liner to center field, and that's going to be in front of Cordero. Knocks it down, keeps it in front of him, and taking second base, Miguel Cabrera on the line drive single for J.D. Martinez. Tigers have 2 on with 1 away.
First pitch right there. Outer half got extended. Why not? And that could have been disastrous. That could have got by him. And there are times when an outfielder, you got to almost sacrifice to get in front of that one. That gets by him. That's big time trouble.
And the Tigers with runners in scoring position, 3 for 8 in this game. And you got Mike Matook coming up here now. Sliding to his right is Austin Hedges. Took today's grounded into a fielder's choice, tripled and flied out to center. The triple drove in the Tigers' first run back in the 4th inning. On giving up singles to Cabrera and Martinez. Striking out Upton in between. 1 out here in the inning. Swing and a miss. Evens up at 2-2. 93 on the fastball from Maton. Maton, 24 years old. 20th round selection in 2015. Was called pretty late. Mccann almost went through with that delivery, but stopped himself. Brad Hand up in the pen. Starting to get late here. The Tigers batting in the top of the 7th inning. Tie game. And a swing and a miss. Mccann comes back to strike out. Let's hook for out number 2 here in the 7th inning. So 2 strikeouts in the inning for Phil Mccann.
That ball looked like it had a little run on it. That 4-seam fastball in. He wanted it away. 2 big-time strikeouts here in the 7th.
Two on, 2 down. Nicholas Castellanos. Castellanos with a single to center back in the 2nd inning. Then he hit a 2-run home run in the 6th inning, which tied this game. After J.D. Martinez had single to begin the 6th, his home run went to right. Home run number 9 of the year for Castellanos. Tied it up 5-5. That's where we are with 2 outs here in the 7th. And the high strike call.
Just a little bit off the plate, but he got the call.
Straightens him up. 93 in the fastball, down by the knees. Two on for the Tigers, 2 down here in the 7th. And that one runs away. 3-1.
Well, on your toes here, infielders. 3-1 hitters count. One of the events of a grounder to your right or left. Got to get dirty. Got to knock it down. Prevent that runner at second base from scoring on contact. For kind of the outfielders, kind of get a little limber as well in anticipation of a ball hit to the outfield and the hitters count.
Fights it off, foul, and it's a full count now.
He may have swung at ball 4 there.
Yes, he may have. Mccann gave up a single to Miguel Cabrera to begin the inning, struck out Upton. And a single to Martinez, followed that up by striking out Matuk. Now the runners will get a start here with 2 outs, a full count to Nicholas Castellanos. Swing and a foul tip held onto by Austin Hedges, and a big strikeout for Mccann, who ends up striking out the side. So pretty impressive. 3 strikeouts in the inning and just kept climbing the ladder. And Castellanos goes up there chasing it for strike 3. And the Tigers strand a pair here in the top of the 7th inning. So 7th inning stretch here in San Diego on this Military Sunday. We will keep it right here for the singing of God Bless America.
It's time for the 7th inning stretch. Before we sing Take Me Out to the Ball Game here on Military Sunday, please stand and welcome U.S. Navy veteran Fatima Payton. Please sing along as she presents God Bless America.
God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above. From the mountains to the prairies to the oceans wide with foam.
Park here in San Diego. Game tied 5-5. Time now for the San Diego fans of the game. Hanging out in behind the dugout here at Petco Park in San Diego. And enjoying a beautiful afternoon. On this Sunday in a tie game. Suaje leading it off. Cabrera's going to need help, and Stumpf over to cover for out number 1 here to begin things in the bottom of the 7th inning. 1 pitch, 1 out for Daniel Stumpf, the 4th pitcher of the day used for Detroit.
Well, Stumpf came in the 7th inning last night. 1 inning and gave up a hit and struck out 1 Padre. Once again, we talked about this bullpen not doing well in this losing streak. ERA above 8. And the splits even at 375 off of Stumpf.
So 1 out, and here is Will Myers. He hit a home run back in the 1st inning. Sets down a walk and a ground out from Myers. The home run, his 15th of the year. Just off the outside edge. Stumpf takes over for Alex Wilson to win an inning. Did not allow a hit or a run. Walk and a strikeout. Myers kind of got jammed and flips it down the right field line out of play. Myers with a home run with 2 outs and the bases empty back in the 1st inning. Put the Padres on top for the first time today, 1-0. Starter Jordan Zimmerman. First of 5 runs allowed by Zimmerman. The first of 2 home runs. Swing and a miss on a pitch elevated at 95. So 2 down here in the 7th.
Vote today, vote tomorrow, vote Padres for your 2017 All-Stars with the Esurance MLB All-Star Game ballot. Vote at Padres.com/vote. Catch all the excitement of the 88th MLB All-Star Game in Miami. Presented by MasterCard, July 11th, live on Fox.
Two down here in the 7th, and here's Corey Spangenberg. Spangenberg today has walked, struck out swinging, and flied out to center. Stuff kind of shows you his back and the numbers on his back to start before he goes into that delivery.
It can be a little deceiving at times. Tough to pick up that release point. He goes from the pretty much, I want to say the middle. It's more towards the first base side. Close stance as he gets set from the set position.
In there for strike 2. Corey Spangenberg batting here with 2 down, bases empty, and the Padres 7th. Pretty close pitch. And there by Mccann, and it's a full count. How close it was.
Well, according to Fox Tracks, that's a strike, huh?
Called a ball, full count now.
Take advantage of it.
Spangenberg strikes out down to 1 knee on that cut. 5-5 the score as we head to inning number 8.
Mets in San Francisco locking it up right now. And Rene Rivera, 2 big bombs.
Yeah, the first 2 at-bats of the day, Rene Rivera, the former Padre, and he was fun to watch when he got in that home run binge today, putting a hurting on the Giants, who are continuing to reel.
They're a mess. 27-50 are the Giants. They trail the Mets 7-1. They're in the bottom of the 8th inning. Mark and I are working on Padres Live, the post-game show, which will be brought to you by Cox Communications on this Military Sunday. You're going to hear from Andy Green, and Mark and I will get you set for the Braves series, which begins the day after tomorrow here at Petco. Don and Mark.
All right, Mike and Mark, thanks very much. A loss today by the Giants. That'd be 5 in a row
That's
for
unbelievable.
the Giants.
It really is. Guys mentioned it, but it's worth mentioning again. 27-51 after today.
Start of the day, 23.5 games back of the Dodgers in the National League West.
Wow.
James Mccann leading it off here against a new Padres pitcher in the 8th, Brad Hand, into the game. Chop to third, incoming is Spangenberg. Gets it there in plenty of time. Across the diamond for out number 1 of the 8th.
Well, the numbers are great for Brad Hand. Now, I know, Don, I want your opinion on this. You know, middle relievers, setup guys really don't get a lot of love when it comes to all-star selections.
It's hard because you get the starters and the closers.
I think he's very all-star worthy, Brad Hand.
I would agree.
I mean, look at the games.
Yep.
Now he's 37th. And those numbers, throw out the win and loss.
Iglesias, the single in the 4th inning, which tied the game 3-3 at the time. Now a grounder back to Hand, quickly off the mound. He's got to hurry, and he'll get it there in time. 2 down here in the 8th.
This week on Padres POV, presented by Nissan, we head to the bullpen with Matt Cesar to check out his artwork of Mr. Padre, Tony Gwynn. That's the day after Padres Live.
The pitch hitter coming up here, and John Hicks to bat at the pitcher's spot, so he is hitting for Daniel Stumpf. With 2 outs here in the 8th inning. And taking over for Phil Maton, who went an inning, giving up 2 hits, no runs. Didn't walk anybody, ended up striking out the side. 7 strikeouts in the game for Padres pitching. All 2 strikes. Tardy on that 95-mile-an-hour fastball. Running away from John Hicks, the pinch hitter here. Clayton Richard started this game for the Padres. 5 1/3, 5 runs. Will not be part of the decision today. Padres trying to sweep the Tigers after taking the first 2 games of the series. Check swing on a ball in the dirt. Did he go? No. Check with Mike Everett.
You think he went?
I'll let you know in a minute.
Oh my gosh, yes he went.
Yeah, I think he went. In the air to right field. Renfroe going back. It'll take him almost to the warning track as he makes the catch that ends the inning. We get to the bottom of the 8th, tied 5-5.
How about the safety squeeze in the 4th inning? Got Eric Ibar, third base. Couple of keys here. The hitter, Clayton Richard, you got to get the ball on the ground in order for Ibar to recognize that. It's not a force play, so it's got to be the perfect throw. Zimmerman elects to go to the plate. Not even close. Clayton Richard is safe. It's all good in Friarville. Perfectly executed on the safety squeeze. But as soon as that ball is off the bat, the runner sees the trajectory of the ball down. You are off and running because it's going to take a perfect throw to get you out of the plate.
It's on here to the last of the 8th inning. Hedges, Ibar, and Renfroe to face the new pitcher. Bruce Rondon into the game now for Detroit, their 5th pitcher of the day.
Big kid right here, Bruce Rondon, 6'3", 275. Only his 4th game. Small sample size.
On the ground on the third baseline foul. Austin Hedges 1 for 3 today, a single to left field in the 5th inning for the Padres catcher. From Rondon, but missing. Two and two. Rondon pitching in 28 games for AAA Toledo this year. 3.04 earned run average. 26 innings, had 33 strikeouts. Kind of a quick pitch there on Hedges, and Hedges strikes out for the first out of the 8th inning.
Well, he's got the good heater, the good fastball. What does he put him away with here? You're right, Don. A little quick pitch there, slide step. 86 slider.
One out here in the 8th brings up Eric Ibar. Ibar with a home run back in the 2nd inning. One single we showed you in the 4th. Got it into a double play in the 5th. Behind here, 2-0. Now the grass at third is Castellanos. Just a stride in case Ibar entertains any thoughts of bunting again. But ahead here in the count now, 2-0. To the fastball again, and it's 2-1. The hitter's count here for Ibar. Zimmerman started the game, 4 innings, 5 runs. Bullpen's been very good, a much beleaguered bullpen for the Tigers. 4th arm used out of the pen, so far only given up 1 hit. And Zimmerman left in the 4th inning. Swing and a miss, and Ibar kind of changed his mind in the middle of that swing. Thinking fastball, didn't get it, got a slider instead, full count.
That's tough to react there. When you throw 96, 98, and then you've got that little bender right there, which is coming in hot as well. Once you commit, it's tough to make contact.
Bounces in, and that's ball 4. Padres have a base runner with 1 down here in the 8th. So a walk to Ibar with 1 out here in the 8th inning. Looks like Rich Doobie, the pitching coach, headed out there to talk to Rondon as they get ready to deal with Hunter Renfroe. Rich Doobie, longtime Philadelphia Phillies pitching coach. The pitching coach for the Tigers. 1 out, 1 on. Hunter Renfroe today has been on twice. A single and a walk. He has scored 2 runs and popped out to second base.
Let's see if they start him off with a breaking ball here. Rich Doobie out there, probably, you know, a couple of things. One is maybe a little scouting report. Hunter Renfroe, straight fastball for Rondon. He can get on a fastball.
Started him with a breaking ball and misses for ball 1.
Hey, a hanging breaking ball to speed up the bat of Renfroe could spell damage. Big time trouble. Slider again.
And a swing and a miss, and what a swing it was. Swinging for the downs right there, 1-1.
Not too hard now. Nice under control, out in front of it. Boy, he was way out in front of that.
Renfroe rips this foul up into the top deck.
That foul ball there was Joe Carter-like. That's the way Joe Carter used to hit him. He could pull a fastball. I mean, he'd be coming right at his front hip, bang. Pull it into the second, third deck.
That misses for ball 2, 2-2. Strike out of Boston. Hedges started the inning. Eric Ibar walked. Now Hunter Renfroe in a tie game here in the last of the 8th. Bottom of the 8th inning last night, big for the Padres. Soft toss to first, and Ibar back to the bag. Just outside, full count. So big spot here for Hunter Renfroe with 1 out, 1 on in the last of the 8th inning. See if they start Ibar at first base on the 3-2 pitch. Ibar is going, and a swing and a miss for Renfroe could turn into a double play, and it will. So they do start Ibar on the 3-2 pitch. Renfroe strikes out. It becomes a double play at second. A risk you take. We head to the 9th, tied 5-5. The ninth inning. Padres wrapping up the series with the Tigers today. He'll have tomorrow off, and then the Atlanta Braves will be in town for 3. Matt Adams, formerly of the St. Louis Cardinals, now a member of the Braves. That kept coming back here to Petco Park this season, hitting at .320 with 12 homers and 35 runs batted in. Sean Newcomb, who starts this year, an 0-2 record with just a 1.96 earned run average. All starts at 6:30 on Tuesday night with Padres Live, as here is Brandon Maurer, the closer, coming in at home in a tie game to pitch the ninth inning.
So the save is out the window. Hopefully the Friars can win it in walk-off style in the bottom half of the ninth. So till then, hopefully a bagel from Brandon Maurer. We saw Maurer power in game 1 of the series for his 14th save.
Ian Kinsler leading it off here for Detroit in the ninth inning. Kinsler 0 for 3 with a walk. Line to left field. Cesar coming in, diving, can't catch it. It goes to his right, and heading for second base is Kinsler with a double to start the inning. Cesar came in, tried to make the diving catch, could not, kicked off him towards the line. And Kinsler at second to begin things in the ninth inning.
You know, a couple of things here. A valiant effort by Matt Cesar in left. He short hops it, keeps it in front of him. That could have been big time trouble if it gets by him. And then secondly, this is closer than you think at second base. This is a nice accurate throw. After second look, he got in there easily, but still a nice, accurate, strong throw from Matt Cesar.
And now Miguel Cabrera, leadoff double here for the Tigers in the ninth inning. Cabrera got his first hit of the game back in the 7th, a single to center. 1 for 4 day today for the Tigers first baseman. Two for 3 in his career against Maurer, including a home run. Inside, almost hit him. Non-save situation here for Maurer. Gives up the leadoff double to begin the ninth inning. Cabrera pops it up. Back goes Iswahe, the second baseman, for the out. One down here in the ninth. Revisit the keys to the game, brought to you by your San Diego Honda dealers.
Get to the Tigers pen early. Zimmerman 4 frames, 6 hits. They got to the bullpen, but since then no runs. And 1 big inning. Biggest inning, 2 runs in the second and 2 runs in the fourth.
There is Justin Upton, who has doubled twice in this game. Once to right, once to left, but he has struck out each of the last 2 times he's been up. Two and 0. Upton now. J.D. Martinez waiting on deck. Now we're trying to work his way around a leadoff double to begin things here in the ninth. On the corner, and it's 2-1. A little bit outside.
That's a good pitch. That is hard. It's got great depth just off the plate. Austin tries to bring it back. That's a tough pitch to lay off.
and a miss. Full count. Battles back.
Goes with the changeup.
J.D. Martinez waiting on deck here for Detroit in the ninth. Potential go-ahead run in scoring position, and Ian Kinsler out there at second. Upton will take ball 4 on a close pitch. A one-out walk for Justin Upton.
Looked good to me.
Yep. Right at the knees.
2 pitches that at bat, very tough to lay off. That slider just off the plate for a ball, but that one looked like it was pretty good. That's tough to lay off with 2 strikes as well.
So 2 on 1 away. J.D. Martinez coming up. He's been aboard 3 times today. A walk and 2 singles, has scored a run, and he's 2 for 4 in his career against Mauer. Little dribbler in front of the plate. Hedges will go to first base for the out there, but the runners move along with now 2 down in the inning. Kinsler to third, Upton to second. 2-3 on the put out at first base. That acted like a bunt, even though it was a full swing.
Flash look. Oh, Brandon Mauer's got to hit the deck on that throw to first base. Crunch time right here. Make some good pitches.
Mike Matuk the batter. Had a triple back in the 4th inning to drive in a run. 1-4 ball game for the Tigers center fielder. Ball 1. Ball 2, 2-0. Fastball 98, but missing. Three and 0. So batting now. The inning does continue. Nicholas Castellanos waiting on deck for the Tigers. Swinging 3-0, fouled back at the green light.
I was just going to say, don't be just laying it in there. Although Mauer with that good fastball, tough to catch up to and tough to square up.
Go ahead run 90 feet away, and Ian Kinsler. Justin Upton at second base. 2 down, top of the 9th inning. Took with a swing and a miss and a full count.
Yeah, the 3-1 changeup from Mauer. That's pitching right there. Fastball count comes out perfectly, way out in front.
Matuk hits a base hit into right field. From third comes Kinsler. Upton's going to try and score. Throw is going to be late. 2-run score. Now they've got Matuk hung up. They'll apply the tag, and that will end the inning. But the Tigers come up with 2 big runs in the top half of the 9th inning. 7-5 now, Detroit. having a big day today and just broke a 5-5 tie with a 2-run single into right field, and it is 7-5 now. Tigers on top. Padres coming up against a new pitcher as Justin Wilson comes on now for Detroit.
Well, the blown save is a big thing for this Detroit Tiger bullpen, and we take a look at Wilson, his 30th game. He has 5 saves. Look at the splits, pretty darn good splits. Walks, though, 12 walks and 27 plus, and there are the blown saves, Mr. Orsillo.
That'll lead the majors with 15.
Bloop and a blast to tie it. A couple of bloops and a blast to win it.
Cesar going to lead it off here for the Padres. Cesar today has tripled and walked, been on twice. He's also flying to center. A home run against Justin Wilson in his career, 1 for 1. And he takes ball 1. Cesar Cordero in the pitcher spot, scheduled to bat in the inning. Well, bullpen has been very good for the Tigers today. Saupold, Wilson, Stumpf, Rondon have combined to pitch 4 innings out of the pen. They've only given up 1 hit. All the runs the Padres have. Jordan Zimmerman, the starter, allowed in his 4 innings. Wilson jumps ahead 1-2. 96-mile-an-hour fastball that was elevated. Strike 3 call. Cesar knew it, takes with him. First strikeout for Justin Wilson. 1 down here in the bottom of the 9th.
Throws him with the fastball. That's exactly where he wanted it too. Inner half. Looked like Matt may have been looking for another pitch.
So 1 down here in the 9th inning. Cordero. Strike 1 on the outside corner. He struck out his first plate appearance back in the 6th inning, pinch hitting, and coming in as part of a double switch. Foul back to the screen, 1-2. Total of 10 strikeouts in the game. Actually make it 11 now for Tigers pitching. Hector Sanchez has come out on deck. He would bat in the pitcher's spot. Was the hero of last night's game. Big 2-run shot in the bottom of the 8th. Swing and a miss, and Cordero strikes out. 2 down in the 9th inning. Time out for the Cardinals Jr. star of the game, Mike Matuk, with 2 outs and runners at 2nd and 3rd, an opposite field base hit into right. They would play 2 Tigers and give Detroit a 7-5 lead. Matuk ended up being tagged out to end the inning, but not before 2 runs scored. And call back Hector Sanchez here, and it's going to be d'Arnaud who bats instead. We're going to have Sanchez bat if somebody got on, but instead it's Chase d'Arnaud. Swinging a foul at the dish for strike 1.
You know, looking at the relievers for these Tigers this afternoon. You mentioned it just a bit ago, Don. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, right? 7 strikeouts. And the relief corps going into this game, the fewest strikeouts in the American League from the relief corps.
They've only given up 1 hit and no runs. Darno hits a little bloop and it'll be caught out there by Ian Kinsler. He went over one shoulder, then the other, and he makes the grab that ends the ball game. The Tigers are able to salvage the final game of the series as the Padres win the series, and the Tigers' losing streak comes to an end at 8 games as they win today 7-5. What's in store, Mike Pomerantz?
Well, we're going to hear from Brad Ausmus of the Tigers. This win may or may not have saved his job for the time being, and we'll get you set for the Atlanta Braves series beginning the day after tomorrow. We'll see you on Padres Live in moments.